And I know that's a horrible answer, and I apologize to everybody out there. So there'll be a lot of unfunny things on here. So yeah. I don't know if I've ever been asked that before. Chad Thornsberry, full-time probably 10, off and on probably 12, 14. I know a lot of comics that know the exact date that they, and I have no idea. And I always wished I had a better story. I read the story about Seinfeld where he would like talk to his bird in his bird cage and like work material out when he was 6. And mine, I was skipping a college class and I was asleep on the couch and I had Comedy Central on and there was some guy on there and I had the thought of like, I could do that. And I thought, I wonder if I could do that. And that was, I got that and then I wrote my first horrible 5 minutes and one of my first, and it's addictive. It's completely addictive. I sit and write and I try to branch stuff off and, you know, sometimes I come up with something good and, you know, 75% it's shit and, but.
It's usually how writing goes, huh?
Yeah, usually how mine goes.
Yeah.
What do you do if people don't laugh? Well, then you go to the next joke. And what do you do if they don't laugh? Then you go to the next joke. And it's a thick-skinned, it's a pride-swallowing thing that you have to get used to. And you know, eventually you get to the point where, I don't want to say you're comfortable with it, but I heard a comic say one time, he said, you have to learn to appreciate silence. You know, because you'll write this great thing and what you think in your mind and you just, everything, and people just sit there and then you'll say the most menial, stupid thing and people are laughing and then you almost get upset that they're laughing at that thing. And it's yeah, in comedy, you better get used to failure. You know, you're judged every, 7 to 10 seconds. And it's, if you're up here for 45 minutes, you're rejudged every, oh, well, that's funny, well, that sucks. And it doesn't matter that 2 jokes ago they thought you were great. And so that's tough. It can be, it can be tough to deal with. I was seeing this girl, and I was going to my show, and I stopped by to pick her up, and she gave me the whole, hey, we got to quit seeing each other. And this is, a half hour before I go on. And it really, it messed me up a little bit. I was like, oh, and so I go to my show, I go up there and I do my, whatever it was, 10 or 15, and the show was fine. And that's when I first, I realized I could kind of hit that switch. And I thought, okay, maybe I can do this. Because you have all this junk that happened before, and then for the 12 minutes you're up there, like, oh, okay, they couldn't tell. I wasn't up there blathering. I did my set. I did it pretty much the way I wanted. It's the show I've done on a flatbed trailer for 4 people in a field. It's that kind of stuff.
Did you actually do that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You do the bowling alley, you're standing on lane 5 and lane 4 or 6 have active bowlers.
That actually happened to you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, people put up a microphone anywhere. It's unbelievable some of the places people put up shows. I didn't choose comedy. Comedy chose me. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. It's just a release. It's just I love the fact that I can talk to people about stuff that I want to talk about. This is the only format where you can do this. And people will pay attention and hopefully they enjoy it. And you can take this same stuff that I talk about on stage and you take it to a workplace and talk about it with other coworkers and you're like, why the hell are you saying that? What are you doing? But for some reason here you're on stage and you have the lights and people are drinking and they think it's exciting and something I'm very fortunate to do for a living, but it's just a way. I knew a guy in Kansas City when I started who, he was an accountant and loved being an accountant, had no aspirations to be a comedian, but he would come and do the open mic every, whatever it was, Wednesday, and he would do his 5 minutes. And that, for him, he said, that's when I can be somebody else. That's when I can be, you know. And so there's something to it. I don't know.